This is it. It's time to finally get to the prototyping phase of our entire innovation cycle. In this video, we're going to go over some quick reminders about the prototyping process so that way we set you up for success on your path to your final invention. Stay tuned. So by now, prototyping is nothing new to you guys. You've gone through probably dozens of iterations of prototypes over the years, or at least over the first couple of levels of the Innovative Studies program, so this is something that should come relatively naturally. A couple of reminders though. So because this is the prototyping phase and because iterative design involves so much prototyping, testing, collecting feedback, and then a new iteration of a prototype, you're going to be spending the bulk of the course working on prototyping this particular product or idea. That means as a result, you're going to end up going through probably about 20 iterations. We're talking 20. That's a lot of iterations, which means you're going to be dedicating a lot of time to professional manufacture, or at least to trying to come up with something that could be professionally manufactured. Now, when we start off with our prototyping process, remember that we always start with something small, like a model of your idea. At the beginning of your invention process or your prototyping process, the goal is primarily getting feedback on the concept. So you can take a concept to your end user, get feedback on the concept, and then you can work on trying to develop the mechanisms that would make those features work the right way later on down the road. So at the very beginning of your prototyping phase, you should be focusing primarily on the concept. That means you can have something smaller or larger than it actually would be, or at least something that is larger or smaller than the actual product might be. From there, after a couple of iterations and you've kind of hammered out the logistics of the idea, then you'll get into the actual mechanics of making it work. That's where we go into a full mock-up. So a mock-up is specifically designed to test one or more features of your prototype. It could be a full-size scale, and it could be testing the product quality, it could be testing the stability, could be testing the measurements, could be testing the fit, the end-user interaction, whatever it might be. But the idea with the mock-up is now you're starting to test each individual feature of your prototype. By the end of the prototyping process, you're going to be working on how we could produce them using things like 3D printing, CAD imaging, could be something using a CNC mill, laser cutting, whatever it might be. That's where we get into the more technical, more advanced elements of prototyping. The goal of those is that you can create files that could be easily duplicated via a manufacturing process, and therefore could be qualified for a patent protection. Now, when you get started with your prototyping process, remember we have our maker shop. It's full of all kinds of goods that you can use. You're going to keep track of those goods throughout the course of the semester, and from time to time you'll be sitting down with me and walking me through all of the different things that you've tried, all of the different feedback perspectives you've collected, and how they've informed the development of your product or your idea. You can keep this if it's small enough in your locker, so that way it's safe and it's not going to be tampered with by anybody. If it's a large item though, we might need to find some additional space for you either in the lab or somewhere where you can take it when you leave every single day. Good luck and have fun.